Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is January 5th, 2025, and we now know the date on when Joan Laporta will finally face the press and explain what's going on with Dani Olmo and Pau Victor. Also, Barcelona are currently negotiating with an academy gem amidst Manchester City interest. And finally, Ronald Araujo continues to be unclear about his future. We have a lot to discuss. So let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo and we'll begin this video with the news that Joan Laporta is set to finally face the press and discuss what's going on with the Pau Victor and Dani Olmo registrations. Now, as you know from my previous video earlier today, several groups of socios issued a statement demanding that Joan Laporta should resign, and it's reported that Laporta will respond directly to those groups and will explain everything what's going on with Dani Olmo and Pau Victor around Thursday, maybe Friday. It will all depend on what's going to happen with the precautionary measure. Now, as you know, Barcelona will go to the courts in order to request a precautionary measure for Dani Olmo and Pau Victor. That will happen on Tuesday because tomorrow Monday, it's a holiday in Spain, so the courts are closed. So on Tuesday, Barcelona will present its argument to the court, and if the court rules as fast as possible, they expect a resolution around Wednesday, maybe Thursday, and right after that resolution is when Joan Laporta is set to come out, face the press, answer questions, and explain what's going on with Dani Olmo and Pau Victor. Now, for now, there is a little bit of an unofficial response, I guess you may call it that, but it seems that Laporta is obviously not happy with the situation with the registration of the players. And he believes that the reaction of the socios is an exaggeration, demanding his resignation, and that instead, they should be coming together and helping him and helping the board come up with a solution on how to register Dani Olmo versus to call for his head. But nonetheless, Laporta and the board respect that the socios, have the right to do this. And again, as I mentioned in my previous video, that's what I like about a club being owned by its own members, is that they can do things like that. Whether you agree or not, if you're a socio, you can express your anger or your support or whatever. That's the beauty about having a club that's owned by its own members, is that you can do things like that democratically. Either say, yes, I support your president, or no, I don't like what you're doing, so get out, bring someone else who can do a better job. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out my last video. I did an extensive coverage of that entire statement. Now, speaking of Dani Olmo and Pau Victor, both players will travel with the team to Saudi Arabia. As you know, Barcelona will play the semifinal on January 8th against Athletic Club Bilbao in Saudi Arabia in the Spanish Super Cup. Both players will travel with the team because in case, let's say Tuesday, the court decides to grant the precautionary measure, then both players will be able to play the following day in a semifinal. If the court ends up ruling on Thursday or Friday, then the players could play in the final in case Barcelona does beat Athletic Club Bilbao and qualify to the final. Now, speaking of Dani Olmo, as you know, he does have a clause that would allow him to walk away from the contract if he's not registered. It's reported that AC Milan have reached out to the player and they're offering a 6-month loan. Now, there are many clubs right now, especially in the Premier League, calling Dani Olmo, reaching out to the player because they're looking, to sign him as a free agent. However, AC Milan, they're willing to offer him a 6-month loan. In other words, saying, hey, if you don't want to leave Barcelona, forever as a free agent and join somewhere else, you still want to play in Barcelona, look, you can come here, you can play for the remainder of the season, we'll match your salary, and then next season you go back to Barcelona and you continue your dream of playing for your boyhood club. Now, for now, Dani Olmo, through his agent, they're saying they're not moving. They trust in the club. They think that, they're believing what Laporta is telling them, which is that they will be registered with the court through a precautionary measure. So for now, Dani Olmo staying put. Of course, if the court this week, or I should say this upcoming week, says no, of course, it will be a whole different story. But don't worry, I will be here to cover it. So make sure you stay tuned to the channel. Now, Barcelona, speaking of contract, registration, etc., the club have began negotiation with a 50-year-old club prodigy amidst interest from Manchester City. But before I tell you who it is, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. If you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure to Goal Kids, Kickback, or Fanatics. And if you are looking to place any sports bets, make sure to bet us. All links are down below in the description. Now let's get back to the news, because the youngster, the prodigy that I'm talking about, is no other than Baba Kurama, the 15-year-old center back. He's actually the brother of Ilaish Moriba, who you might recall. But the 15-year-old center back, who can also play as a defensive midfielder and even as an interior in the midfield, is someone who the club considers incredibly promising and talented. He's currently 15 years old. However, he will soon turn 16. And as you know, per the rules, when you turn 16, that's when you can finally sign your first professional contract. So since Baba Kurama is about to be 16, Barcelona have already begun negotiations with the youngster so they can give him his first professional contract, especially since Manchester City have been reaching out to the player because, of course, they're interested in signing him. They want to sign him and then loan him out to one of their sister clubs. As you know, Manchester City, it's owned by an investment group. They own many clubs. So the plan for them is to sign him. Manchester City signs them, then they send them to one of their sister clubs so he can continue developing and then bringing them back to Manchester City. But of course, Barcelona want to keep this youngster, and that's why they have already started negotiations with him. Now, speaking of signing contracts, let's talk about Ronald Aro, because as you know, the Uruguayan captain, his contract expires in 2026. Barcelona sent him a contract renewal months ago, which he has yet to respond to. And yesterday, after Barcelona's victory over Unión Deportiva Barbastro, he was asked, what's going on with your contract renewal? Do you want to stay? Do you not? And this is what the Uruguayan had to say. We are talking with the club about my renewal, but I am focused on playing again and getting minutes. Will I continue 100% at Barca? We are talking to the club. So Ronald Araujo continues to be not too clear about his future, saying, yes, we're in negotiations, but not wanting to confirm, yes, I want to stay. This is what I'm working towards, just saying, yeah, we're talking. Which, again, leaves many doubts, which, of course, it's unfortunate because, we all love Ronald Araujo. He's one of the captains. We think he's one of the best defenders in the world. We would love him to stay, but every time he's been asked this over the past several months, his answer is always the same. We'll see. We're talking, we'll find out, as opposed to, Lamine Yamal, who is only 16 and his contract renewal doesn't start for another 2 years. He's like, yes, I'm staying. Adamant. It's always yes. Any player, yes, I'm staying. Yes, I'm staying. Pedri, before they even started negotiating, yes, we're staying. And then we'll continue talking, or we're going to talk in the future, but I want to stay, right? Araujo is always like, no, we're talking, we'll see, we'll find out. I don't know what's going on. I guess we're going to have to wait and see. And we will end today's video with the statements of Wojciech Szczesny, who finally got his long-awaited debut yesterday in the Copa del Rey. He was asked about his debut after the match, and this is what the Polish goalkeeper had to say. I feel happy and relieved. It's one of those games in which you don't want to make a mistake in your debut, and you want to approach the game with the right attitude. I was excited for my debut, and the way they played has made my job a lot easier. So Wojciech Szczesny, of course, very happy with his debut. We didn't get to see a lot of him because, of course, they didn't give him much work. But the very few interventions that he had, he looked fast, he looked sharp, he looked on top of his game. So we'll have to, I guess, continue monitoring his progress. But I really liked what I saw. Again, even though it was very little, but that very little, it was, it looked pretty good to me, especially for a player who just came back from retirement. But again, not surprising, because after all, Szczesny was one of the best goalkeepers for the past 10 years in all of Europe. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. Again, I uploaded another video a few moments ago. Make sure to check it out. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. And as always, Visca Barça.